You're listening to the only show that's broadcast from a swamp in the middle of the internet. Starring the elvish vixen PeninaChan, the dragon furry known as Draconath, Nemo the friendly fish from Australia, and straight from every country's annoying little brother, the pretend nation of Canada, the internet demon himself, the Canadian Rogue. This is Gator-n-Frog.
And I am live on the YouTuber side. Hello, YouTube. How's it going?
Oh yeah, we're live on YouTube on your space, and we'll be live on YouTube on our GNA space, as well as Twitch, Periscope, and Mixer.
Holy shit, we're live everywhere.
We were just...
Yeah, we decided to cover all these different spaces. Hello, everybody, in every possible space known to man.
We invade all the spaces. We got Sir Wolfie on the YouTube side. Says,
all your space belong to us.
All your bases belong to us.
That's the point, dick.
Well, fuck you. I'm not the one that named my channel Nemo Space, okay?
You're the one that named your channel PeninaChan, which is even less inventive.
You know what?
Punk.
No, PeninaChan is
You
very
wanna fight?
inventive. Yes, I want to fight. You'll lose, little fish.
Come over to Australia, and I'll bring my snake gunshots.
Okay, kids. Oh, what happened to the boy that's supposed to be here? The dragon boy.
I think he's still using the little dragon's room.
The last time I heard, he was trying to find a flash drive. Wow.
Yeah,
this is a great introduction for all those people who are looking at his first time live on these other new locations. Hi. I'm the Canadian Rogue. I am the ghost with the most for the other three that I have. One is a dragon who's disappeared. Another one who's a fish from Australia, as we already heard.
Hello, guys. I would never be aggressive or mean towards women, just like you saw me there.
You're such a liar. I have to deal with you.
He's sucking up as per usual. And then the guest and the other person who we have who is letting us use her space every now and then, we all know her as Pen or PeninaChan.
Hi. Yeah, no, there's
so,
no follow-up to that. Just, hey, what's up?
Yeah, there's never going to be a follow-up. We are waiting for somebody who is supposed to be showing up, but I haven't seen whether Edgewood is coming on or not.
I'm gonna have to take a look at Twitter to see if he's if he's messaging me or not. Like, why? You said I could be on your show. Why haven't you sent me that like that?
Well, yeah, no, I'm delaying as best I can.
Do not mock the guest.
I'm not mocking the guest. I am
parodying the guests in a funny way.
No.
Yeah.
I am giving the guest proper representation. No.
We're giving him time. We're doing a song and dance, folks. That's what we're doing. Oh.
That's all right.
Yeah, I know, Wolfie. You don't see me doing the song and dance. I'm so sorry. Wish you were here, though. So there's anything exciting besides what we're going to be doing? Nemo, what have you been up to?
Nothing much. As I said, I've just been playing Overwatch, and I decided to start a new series over the next week or two, which is going to be, Trolls of the Week. Every week I'm gonna get all the best trolls I find online and show them to the world.
I should always be at the top of that list, followed by Rogue.
Yes.
Well, as long as you're playing with me, you would be.
Well,
I don't know if I want to be.
The best one I got so far on a live mic is someone who was talking about how Hitler didn't do nothing wrong.
Oh God.
Oh jeez. Those are beautiful. Those are honestly beautiful people.
And when I accused him of being on 4chan, he just laughed and goes, "Why'd you?" I accused him of being a pole, and then he knew exactly what that was, which confirms he is a pole.
Of course.
Oh, now Dragon Boy is back.
Hey, the Dragon Boy's back.
Sorry, nature called and all that while I was away.
Okay, so Pen was right. You went to the bathroom.
No, it's not the bathroom. It's the little dragon's room.
Room, yeah.
Jesus,
I forgot.
No, it's not.
It's a big dragon swim because it's a really big dragon.
On little.
The fish that can change genders shouldn't be talking. Your goes from an outie to an innie like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can make the outie into an innie if you couldn't.
Anywho, can I suggest any of you guys to actually buy the forest so we can do it as a group stream?
The forest?
Yes.
The forest?
Which game is this?
Yes. It's a survival. It's called The Forest. It's a survival horror game. It's right now in early beta. Wow, pretty much. It should be launched, really. Yeah, it's early access. It should be already launched, but it's about $19. Buy it.
When I get paid and I have the cash, I am planning on moving soon, so...
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I want to see how far we can all survive.
So for any of those who are watching on YouTube, what we're trying to do is kind of shift away from the platform just a little bit. Not entirely, but we do want to give focus elsewhere, considering the resurgence of Adpocalypse 2.0 and the information coming out about the whole the actual code verifying that what we suspected all along was true, is that they're using certain tags and certain codes in order to automatically demonetize channels.
Oh, don't worry, honey. We're automatically demonetized, so I have no qualms in that.
I'm not saying about us being demonetized. I'm just saying we don't want to continue supporting a platform that doesn't support us. And when I say us, I mean the community at large that don't deserve this kind of BS. Unfortunately, though, one of the platforms that we'll be talking about this weekend at the top of our docket will be about VidMe.
Well, yes, since we've lost
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. Sorry.
So, unfortunately...
What's about... It's kind of about right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could be playing Danny Boy, but them pipes are calling.
It might be. You probably go for that.
VidMe, unfortunately, will be closing down their platform. Did they say, like, December 15th?
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
Co-founder came out on December 1st saying, goodbye for now. VidMe came a long way as an independent platform, but we couldn't find a pathway to sustainability. We're building something new. Whatever that is, they're not too sure exactly, but by the December 15th at noon, Pacific time, my time, they'll be sending out a blog explaining what it means for the users and where they go from there.
Yeah, I got an email because of my VidMe telling me that I have until the 14th, I believe, upload all my videos.
You kind of got quiet.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's moving around. No, it's most of us who's got a VidMe channel, they would have gotten an email saying we should remove whatever we have there, upload it, to save it. Otherwise, it's gone.
Luckily, I have backups of all my videos anyways, but at the same time, it's...
Same here. I have several different backups, so I don't have to worry about that.
A few of my videos were actually only on VidMe, and Twitch had deleted it. It was before Twitch started actually saving some streams.
Yeah, that's before they got into the uploading portion of it. Now they save all the streams. I'm like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about having multiple, copies of something. I already have multiple copies of the streams everywhere, and I can pull from there.
It's just a shame, though, because people were actually... I saw the platform growing, but according to VidMe, they couldn't guarantee, they couldn't really get... advertisers to get on board, because advertisers basically wanted the more of the selection. Like, yeah, we want the content that our ads run on to be in alignment with our brand and our values, which kind of really more started when the first Adpocalypse on YouTube started, because it was seen as your ad before a particular video topic means you are an endorsement. No, that's not what it means. In fact, YouTube does not necessarily have any control of which ads play before which videos. At the same time, it's like you're talking about, oh my god, you have a commercial on TV, on actual, like, paid subscription cable for Mr. Clean's ultra multi-purpose bleaching solution right before some kind of really weird homicidal maniac thriller movie.
So basically what you're saying, Penny, is you want me to be even more whiter than what I already am.
Sure. Because it's okay to be white.
I know it's okay to be white, but I'm a mixed kid, so I can't help it.
I think you should be so white that you actually have to bleach your skin every day.
I think I'm going to have to.
So what basically, they just couldn't get the advertiser dollars to support it. There were people who were supporting independent content with paid subscriptions, which was fine for the creators, but it was just not enough to sustain the platform. So
no. I mean, when you look at the actual space, you have Facebook, YouTube, the Facebook Messenger, you have Instagram, Snapchat, Pandora, and whoever else that you want to go with. Mine is Twitch and all that. So,
well, everybody seems to
them trying to get into a new space.
Well, everybody seems to start looking out. BitChute has been becoming more and more popular recently as well. So I'm curious to see how BitChute is able to handle it. My only problem, actually two, when they're kind of like part of the same problem though. The two problems that I had with VidMe was limiting smaller channels until you reached a certain, either before you became verified, limiting how much content you could upload each week, how many minutes and how many megabytes. The second problem was kind of forcing you, and I understand the theory behind it, but forcing you to interact with the community to get, like, these points, which I guess somehow legitimize your existence on their platform even more. Other than that, it was simple to use, simple to upload, a lot more, a lot easier to use most of the time than YouTube was. At least when you're uploading videos.
Okay, hang on. Okay, stop.
Stopping.
Who the hell is doing all those awesome noises? I know. Nemo's still playing with his controller.
No, I'm not.
Okay, there was a lot of clicking, so I wasn't too sure what was going on.
I was typing to people on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I said. It was clicking. I could hear.
It's.
Yeah. I was putting the clack on my keyboard, but I was talking to people. I was doing my job. I wasn't.
No. I was wondering if I was confused as well as something dropped. I'm like, what's going on here?
Dude, Edge, man. Edge.
Yeah.
Pop into my Discord, man, so I can get you into the podcast, man. Jeez.
Oh,
dude,
the guy's here.
All you have to do is go into the Discord, click the bloody link that I gave you to come over to the GNF so I can put you into the show. I've been waiting.
I think he's
I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, no shit, I'm in an echo. I'm doing several things at one time.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize Edge was going to be our special guest. Sorry about that, Panina. I would have let you know.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
And we are as good at communication as...
Well, because Edge wanted to come in and give his 2 cents on the whole VidMe thing. He did say he was restarting his computer, but that was about 5 minutes ago, so...
Oh... I can handle that.
It doesn't take that long.
Anyways, getting back to VidMe, what do you think they could have done that made them more successful?
Well, here's the challenging thing. I guess you would have to say, maybe do a subscription.
Yeah, that would have helped them out, because if you look at something like Twitch, they have the subscription version of it, as well as the other free version.
Almost everyone do, and I think it's a really good way to go. Most people are willing to support a company that doesn't, fuck their customers, and pay that little bit extra.
Well, they could have gone the subscription route. Let people pay for a premium or pro version of it, without restricting the actual content creators.
Of course, but you give them bonus rewards for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like Gab.ai is kind of doing the same thing. You don't have to pay a subscription to use the basic platform and talk to people as much as you want, but like other additional perks of saving lists and actually uploading video content to Gab. Not shilling for Gab, just saying, you know, they have their own system. Or they could have done what...
You do realize we can shill as much as we want to. We have no affiliations to any of these people, so shill.
I understand.
I know.
Anyways, stop.
No.
Stop interrupting me. Anyways, or they could have done what Mines did to get up off the ground. How long Mines last, I don't know. But basically, what they started doing is having their own like investor goals. Like, you know, here's a 3-month time span that we're trying to make sure that we are fully funded for, so we can keep improving the platform and keep it going.
Yep.
Which is great. It would be great for platforms like this to be financially independent from having to depend on advertisers. Not to say that they don't have advertisers, which is just extra money, but it really should be a platform built by the content creators and viewers for content creators and viewers.
What about the separation of, for example, age restriction?
Oh, that's something that you and I were talking about earlier. Because the way, like, say for instance, YouTube system is set up where you have YouTube Kids and then all the rest of YouTube, but the problem is that, especially with content creators, advertisers with content creators, is they kind of, I guess they kind of do or kind of don't say, yeah, no, I don't want my ads appearing on things that talk about politics or talk about controversial topics or whatnot. But it would help for viewers, content creators, and advertisers if you actually did something similar to like the ESRB, where you have early childhood and childhood-esque, where it may contain alcohol, or, well, not alcohol for early childhood or childhood.
Alcohol.
wait.
Oh yeah,
but
you're definitely getting into queer kid stuff, aren't we?
Right.
Oh god.
But
let's not go down that path.
But you
we already did.
You have like a bit of a labeling system, early childhood and childhood. Basically, that would cover a slightly more larger range of YouTube Kids, and then you have E10, then you have teen, then you have mature, which then that's where you can say may contain alcohol or swearing or suggestive language, etc., etc.
That's where we have to.
No, but here's a problem with this, right? I'm going to throw this. Immediately has issues because what do you do with educational things?
But that would fall.
And how far do you push that? And the news, for example, the news is supposed to be access to everyone, even though it has adult themes, right?
To a degree, yes.
But to a degree, of course. Well, you're not going to... Like, the 9 o'clock news is very different than the 5 o'clock news. However, right, there are very adult themes in the 5 o'clock news that the kids watch.
I don't know what kid actually watches the news.
They watch it with their parents, though. They do. Right? And what we want to do is we want to get to a point
avoided the news
where these services...
like the plague when I was little.
Well,
same here.
But here's the thing, right? If we want to get to the point when TV becomes the dinosaur that it's going to become, we're going to need to get used to that whole, the family watching the news like they did 20 years ago, but on the internet.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Nemo. The family doesn't watch the news like they used to do 20 years ago.
But they do spend time together on the thing, but now they're just watching TV. We've got to bring that option to them.
No, it's not even
I know,
this.
but again, we have, before you go on, we have different platforms for this. People nowadays, even kids, 10 and up, in some cases 8 and up, have a phone. They all have access to the World Wide Web through the phone space. They also have the family computer so that they can watch the YouTube there. There's a divide with who's watching what now, which we didn't have that before. Now we do. We have a huge divide.
Right. Access is another part of this too. And also, then you've also got, of course, any 12-year-old that understands the rating system probably knows how to get around it, you know?
Of course.
Like, I don't know what age you guys watched your first R18 movie, but certainly wasn't R18 for me, you know?
Yeah, well...
I think Terminator when I was 11.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of Benny Hill based stuff, so
That's
yeah,
not
I
R.
was
That's like PG disguised as
Benny
R.
Hill, Benny
Benny
Hill, the
Hill,
classic Benny Hill, Benny Hill,
the
the classic
classic
Benny
Benny
Hill.
Hill. The classic
Yes.
Benny Hill doesn't hurt a soul. It's got a couple
Uh,
of boobs in it.
yeah. Well, that's a whole different thing when it comes down to boob watches, especially when you get into the first half and the last half.
Of course.
Of course. But when it comes down to blood, gut, and violence, most kids have already seen it. So
But this is, I guess, what I'm kind of bringing back. Like back Benny Hill, the way you talk about that, all the kids watched Benny Hill with their
no,
parents.
no, they didn't. No, 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 no,
No.
no. Because
It was considered comedy. It was considered comedy.
no, even though it was considered comedy, it was actually put on a late show. It was R-rated comedy.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right. Because
Yeah.
okay.
We have a different system in all different necks of woods, and I know up here in the Great White North, we considered that almost up there with R-rated comedy. We gave him a different time slot. He was late show.
Because here's the thing, Benny Hill here was rated M, not
Yeah,
even MA.
because
So like a
yeah,
13-year-old could watch Benny Hill.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I know because again, it's socially different depending whereabouts you are in the globe.
Yeah.
If you took Benny Hill and you put it into the United States, you would have a whole different basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You guys just need to get over tits.
I don't know. It's always a big.
They're nice and everything, but you need to get over them. You know, they're not
Yeah.
that good.
Tits are a way
They're
of
not
life.
the BCs.
Yes, tits the way of life, but tits up, tits down.
I resent Edgewood the link again, so let's see if he's
Yeah,
saying
see
he's
what
trying
happens.
to get into
'Cause
Discord. I saw that he's logged in right now, so I don't know what's going on.
yeah, no, I'm totally at a loss here because I'm looking at the Discord for both
I know, I can
sides.
see you looking at the Discord.
Do you want to move on until
Yeah.
we get back and he can have his say?
Yeah, we can bring him on as a late because I can see him. He's
Yeah.
there. So
And the end can make
we,
that
we
topic a little bit more sharper.
yeah, well, we can delay because most of the show is pretty basic. You can go into this one here. Google Translate algorithm has gender bias. According to some idiot, they kind of figured out that in Google Translate, especially when it comes down to Turkish, it kind of gives the pronouns incorrectly to a point.
Well, not necessarily
Are you
correctly.
surprised?
If it's ambiguous.
Yeah, in this case, for example,
No.
the pronoun of O can be used to describe a he, she, or it. When translated from Turkish to English, it has to guess on which one it is. It tends to guess in the sentence referring to as a he.
Yes.
Well, I mean, are they really surprised? I mean, they're using a computer program to auto-translate pronoun names, and half the fucking pronouns they use, part of my language for anyone who has, worried about monetization now. I've opened my mouth.
Dude, you're talking to the wrong show here.
I know.
If this was rhetorical, we would say yeah, we've got a problem. But no, we're in a whole
But no,
different spectrum. We know we're
No,
dead.
but here's the problem. Like, I don't know Turkish. I don't. But I do know.
Well, it's not that.
I do know Spanish a bit, and in most languages have a he or a she gendered version of it.
That's the problem. They're trying to use a program that's designed with the he/she pronoun knowledge, and half their pronouns are literally made the fuck up.
Yes.
Yeah, because when it comes down to Turkish, they don't have, and I know a few people who are Turkish, they don't have a lot of the solid pronoun structures as English does.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Sorry,
No,
I was
it's
going to
good.
say, can I just bring up something?
Go ahead.
Is this really Turkey's biggest problem when it comes to sexism? But I'm pretty sure they got a few other things on the list.
It's not about Turkey. Hold on, it's not about Turkey having the problem. It's about people's feelings over here, and oh my god, it's the program that's sexist.
I know, but it's really pathetic, and also it's not as bad as it sounds. Like usually when it assumes male, it's kind of right. You know, like for example, if we're referring to God, we usually refer to him as a he, even though they've never really given you his gender. If he did exist, he probably doesn't have one. However, we always just say he, him, you know, because it's just a way we do things. It's just a way, I guess, languages talk. They've got an assumption of things when you don't know it. You know, this isn't just Google that's a problem, it's the human language, including English.
Computers are attempting to do computers interpret the input humans put into it and then spits back out a result.
Yeah, exactly. Alexa didn't figure out that. Sorry, go.
No, I was going to say in Chinese, the pronoun for he can also be used for they.
Yes.
Which is, it's very kind of confusing. They don't have a lot of translation for female-based pronouns, as in she. Finnish, the word, or at least the pronoun han, can be representative both male or female, he or she. So, as Penn said, you're trying to get a machine to spit out the proper pronunciation in English, when it's just giving, it only has the basic in front of it. It's not going to have the nuances of a language.
Yeah, it's just really, really silly to get into this when there are so many other problems to deal with, you know what I mean?
Especially when you're going from one culture, one language, to another. What might be nuanced in one is not easily discernible in the other, and you're using English as the standard. Yes, a good majority of the world speaks English. You know what? The most spoken language in the world, just because of population, is Mandarin. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I've already said it straight up that, hey, in Mandarin, you're pretty much fucked anyways, because there's not many female pronouns.
Mandarin is fairly hard to translate.
Oh, it's insane! It's insanely hard to translate, because when you throw it into Google Translate, it gives you things that makes no sense. And then we try to reverse it in English to Mandarin. Even the people who are native speaking, they kind of go, "What's that?" And you try to tell them what it is. It's like, it didn't say that. It means nothing. Could you just give me the paper? I can write it down for you. What you're supposed to say.
And depending on who you give it to, there's about like 12 other ways to say it.
To say it, yeah.
And there's how many different versions of the written form?
Well,
there's quite a few.
That's not even getting into dialects.
Well, that's the issue when it comes to translation, is you gotta figure out and make sure that you're using the right dialect.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But,
Rogue, stop trying to talk through
just mountain down a molehill.
I know.
That's all it is mountain down a molehills.
Well, mountain out of molehill. Let's go to EA again.
Yeah.
we haven't beaten this dead horse enough.
Well, it's
no,
not
it gets even better. It gets even better. It's EA having more and more thrown on them. So because of data miners, they revealed even more dishonesty about Battlefront 2 and the customization. EA has said in another form of interview that, quote unquote, they were not going to go into giving the same kind of, cosmetic loot boxes, in fear that it would violate the canon of Star Wars. And what the data miners found out, that's all bullshit.
Of course it is.
Because in the information that they found, that's all under there. All the cosmetic skins are available from the old Clone Wars, the 501, to the Death Troopers, to all the cosmetic looks that you'd want, even for the ships and everything.
Damn.
They're all there, all waiting for you. and they're in the game.
How do you unlock them?
You can't, because they're behind a paywall.
That's
Especially
right.
now since they took the loot boxes out, or at least, yeah.
Well, no. For the time being.
Loot boxes
Oh yeah,
are
that's
still
right.
there.
For the time being, until they can.
For the time being, they're
until
still
the
there.
heat has died down.
Yeah, exactly. Until the fuzz is no longer on their asses, man.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's gotten pretty sad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it got sad a month ago. This is like watching someone with HIV just wither away.
Oh yeah, but the question comes back down to how long before EA loses all rights to the license, or at least to the IP of Star Wars. When is Disney going to?
I think it's not long.
It shouldn't be that long, only because EA is on damage control because they don't want to lose it. But if it's too damaging to the brand that is Star Wars, it's gonna be soon.
Keep in mind that Star Wars is coming out with Episode 8. They're already in damage control as it is, because this movie is coming out and they want to make sure it's the most popular movie ever. This
Not
game
just
isn't
that,
helping.
but they're trying to go on damage control because, one, you have the long-term standing fans who were familiar with the original canon stuff that was turned into Legacy, and on top of all that, you have that they pulled all that stunt, and then you have EA pulling Battlefront 1 and 2 into the dirt like horrible beaten children that they are. And then you have a whole lot of just nightmarish hells proceeding with that. Because if you look at Battlefront 1 and 2 that came out this time around, and then compare them to the ones that came out in PS2 era, Xbox era, the availability and options are so much more in the game than they are now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So for those who are watching on the GNF YouTube, you can see the classes as well as the races that were available in game.
I'm doing the same thing too on YouTube side.
Yeah. So, yeah.
This information was already in the game. This is, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Street Fighter, where, yeah, they sold the game, and then you still had to pay more in order to unlock characters that were already on the disc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They've done this heaps.
Yeah.
The only issue I see people having with skins is if they allowed you to have a high-ranking alien officer in the Imperial side.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't understand what that means, but okay.
Well, in the Imperials, there's only one alien who exceeded past any kind of ranking of Imperial officer rank. And that was...
I get what you mean with canon.
Yeah, with canon. That's the only issue I see anyone having with canon issues, is if they made the Imperials, you're able to give them an Imperial officer.
Is anyone really going to have a problem with canon issues?
Like, in a video game?
That's a convenient excuse. Like, let's be real here.
The only people who would have issues with canon would be Disney, because they're creating their own version of canon when it comes down to Star Wars. But when it comes back down to it, most of the Legends classification is slowly trickling in to the new canon of Star Wars. It's just coming in a different way. So your high-ranking officer, well, it's the Grand Admiral. Mom. So they're already there. So it's slowly coming back in. We're going to be getting Darth Bane soon. We're going to be getting probably Revan coming back and a few others. So
I would love to see Revan come back, just for nostalgia.
Can someone drag Edge back in here?
Yeah. Give me a second. Is he in the?
Yeah, he's in gator-n-frog.
Yeah, just where though?
I see him in the main chat. General bullshit.
Okay. No, I got him.
Sorry to interrupt your flow there, but
no.
We can't leave an Edge in the dark.
Edge, can I get you to go into the generals portion of the GNF? That's basically our waiting room. I really can't pull you into this room. You would have to physically go into that room, I believe.
Also, don't forget that he may not be on the list to have access to certain rooms.
No, the general he does have, and I'm gonna give him that row. I've just given him some new levels. He has access to. He can actually come in now if he so wishes.
So yeah, EA.
I believe in you, Edge.
Did not want cosmetic loot boxes. It would be violating canon. Again, Disney is not Disney. Disney. You could still customize. You could still customize. And still have it be canon. And still have... People know. People know. What is the excuse he said? The excuse he had
All right,
was...
Edgewood, you are in the house.
Mr. Edge.
The excuse people had was basically, we can't make a pink Darth Vader. I'm like, duh, yeah. You could, but people know Darth Vader's not pink. It doesn't hurt the canon.
Exactly. No, it doesn't. No, I'm gonna be like... Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people who are fans of the series anyways, the only time they're ever going to try and... is the people who are going to reach out for those theories and going, oh, this is a hint to the actual canon of the stuff.
Yeah, Darth Vader was just
but very few... A lot of people know the difference. And you know how you fix this also?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
Hey, Edge is here. Good work.
Hey. My internet decided to not be a complete screw up today.
Oh, awesome! Congratulations. It is beautiful internet work as always. Internet is beautiful no matter who it is. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. So I imagine like we probably had already gone past the whole discussion of VidMe, have we?
No,
technically, yes and no. We were going to go forward so we can get rid of some of the things on the docket so we can go backwards because a lot of this is kind of already been beaten. For example, EA is found out by data miners that them saying that we couldn't afford to put in cosmetic loot boxes because it would ruin the canon of Star Wars is total bullshit because they found out that all these skins are already available in game.
Yeah, they're still digging their own grave.
Yes,
very nicely digging their own grave.
They're not going to stop until it's like over their heads, and then they're going to blame everyone else but themselves.
Right.
It's not fault we buried ourselves. You in great?
So, going back to VidMe. So, what are your comments that you would like to express?
So, I just kind of wanted to say a little background when it comes to like being a part of YouTube. Like, okay, so I've seen like a lot of shit for the better part of 10 years being on the YouTube platform. And every time I see it getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse till I believe it got to the point where it was like during the election where I see a whole like a bunch of stuff and like gone wrong with like people like YouTubers like declaring that I'm for this person where like it should not matter like by saying that you're for like Hillary Clinton or for Donald Trump it just pardon me, that was my roommate. It sort of alienated a whole lot of people and just didn't feel like me especially. I didn't feel like I wanted to be on the platform because a lot of it was just being alienated and just being so like disconnected and also with YouTube and how they run their system is all but but disconnected from, between, platform and creator. It's all automated, and it has been for better part of like what, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't help either, honestly, that had Casey Nightstand he actually called people to arms to actually call out everyone, just find out who they actually supported and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And not just, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and so like it was that, and then the ongoing for like the first like YouTube adpocalypse, when with the whole Wall Street Journal put a hit piece on PewDiePie, and then like Disney as a whole, I guess with Maker and whatnot. That's a whole another rabbit hole, but that it was like that. So, and that kind of discouraged me, like, okay, maybe, I won't stand a chance against like big like network channels like Jimmy Fallon and Ellen DeGeneres. Am I ever going to, grow, on YouTube, compared to like 8 years ago? No, I don't think so. And that's why, between that and the whole disconnect, between, platform and creator, VidMe was that platform that, that directly supported the creators and shown a light, towards the creators. Because, what YouTube fails to see is that, if it wasn't for the creators, they wouldn't be where they are. And VidMe like really like struck that out and say, hey, creators first. But that's what I really loved about VidMe, because it reminded me of YouTube, like way back when. It was VidMe was the YouTube that I loved, the first time that I discovered it, pretty much. And that's basically like why like I was like really all for VidMe, and making content for VidMe, and I love the platform because it seemed to really support the creators. But I guess as we've seen, it wasn't profitable because there weren't a whole lot of eyes on the site, and VidMe didn't really, I guess they thought that they didn't really stand out, compared to YouTube or Facebook.
From what we got details wise, let's go back here. As many creators with millions of subscribers on YouTube and Facebook were initially attracted to VidMe's model, but face difficulties transitioning audiences from their home platform. So basically, the biggest problem, from what I can tell, that VidMe was having was getting the current base that would be like a PewDiePie or whatever. So once they get over to this new platform, how are they going to set up shop for the most part? The relocation could be kind of. Go ahead. What were we going to say?
Well, I was going to say, I think, and also another big problem is this was a time, like, it's only been recently when people have been willing to go, all right, fuck YouTube, right? And I think VidMe's been around for too long, and hemorrhaging money, where they came to the party too late, and now they're just, where they could be successful, they just don't have any more money to keep their thing open. I think people just weren't willing to leave YouTube up until very recently. Is one of the biggest issues. But now that they are, it's too late for VidMe, and someone else is going to come, like Gab, or what's the other one?
BitChute.
Minds.
There's Gab and BitChute.
Gab's Mine and BitChute are the next set of contenders for video entertainment and information.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like with VidMe shutting down, I don't necessarily have any more faith that other video platforms might have, a chance in trying to try to be a good competitor, against YouTube.
When it comes
I
down to
disagree with that,
it,
and that's for the same reason I said
we'll
before.
have to agree with Nemo in this place because of the factor that there is room for a challenger. It's just how they're going to present it. For example, what we have a company who's already in the streaming space that YouTube is playing catch up with, which is Twitch. Now, Twitch has its own different platform and it's going in a different direction. It's borrowing some from the YouTube space for uploads and that. Where you have Gab, who's got its own idea of what they want to do. When it comes down to the video platform, their main focus is on the Facebook market, not the YouTube space, where you have, BitChute, which is more or less a storage hub that they're not too sure whether they want to go into a streaming service or not. They're a torrent site.
Can I add something else? Because you talked about before how, like, what would be something VidMe could have done to help prevent this? And I'm just
I did ask
out
that
there,
question.
And I don't think they advertise themselves enough as the competitor to YouTube. You know what I mean? To the antagonist, if you will.
Yeah, I think they wanted to focus more on like being themselves rather than like who
the alternative
wanted to, other than trying to advertise that they're not this or they're not that or we're different from this other. Their Twitter. Their Twitter page would say otherwise, but
of course, and I get that, and I agree. But I think that's maybe one of their downfalls. Is I think to beat YouTube, you have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is them, and why they're bad, and why you should come to somewhere else other than them. And that's the only way you're going to defeat them, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's mainly sort of why last year I made a video said I quit YouTube for now, which is kind of like saying like, oh, I'm not going to be uploading more videos onto YouTube anymore. Maybe not. Most likely because I discovered VidMe and then seeing how much it seemed like VidMe was thriving, and I see how much YouTube is going into a in my perspective, YouTube going into a downward spiral. I meant to say, I kind of try to put all my eggs in one basket with VidMe, and not be able to see what was going on with the platform, I guess, in sort of a way. So I did not foresee, this happening. I did not foresee VidMe shutting down, and hearing that news kind of saddens me because now, if I want to make videos, where else is to go beside YouTube? Dailymotion.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of a sad example.
Well, you still have your Ustream, which is still available, though it is now more of a paid platform through Microsoft. You have Mixer, which is more of a gaming platform, that again through Microsoft. You have Dailymotion, you have Twitch, which is trying to get into a different platform altogether with their divide.
And you also have BitChute. It's still a newer platform, but they also need some love and support too.
Correct. But I was going to get there.
Sorry.
I was going to get there.
Yeah. Don't kill me.
But no.
There are plenty of things, but I want to bring up something that's maybe a little bit scary, and that's YouTube is not a profitable business, believe it or not. Right? No. Even though they're the biggest and baddest of them all, if you look at their tax information, they don't seem to be making a profit, which is kind of alarming. And I want to bring up this question with a little bit of, hesitation, if you will. But maybe there isn't such a thing as a content creation website for the little people that is also profitable.
That's not true. Twitch exists. and it has a paid subscription.
Yeah.
Twitch exists, but it's Twitch possible. I know YouTube isn't, but
they've been able
Twitch.
to stand on their own. Who owns Twitch?
No, not stand on their own.
Yeah.
That's not the difference. That's not the same
I can tell you who owns Twitch, and it's the same people who own Amazon.
Okay, but here's the thing. I haven't heard of it. Maybe I should have looked into Twitch before I had this, but I just had this thought then.
Actually,
Right?
Twitch has a very interesting history. If you don't mind.
Go.
Twitch actually started off as a sub factor from Justin.tv, and Justin, the people who run Justin.tv decided to make a separate website for people who stream video games. So they decided to make Twitch.tv. So they see like all these people migrating to Twitch.tv and not a whole lot of people staying in Justin. They decided to shut down Justin.tv and keep Twitch.
Okay.
And Twitch is what it is now. I've actually had a Justin.tv account, then migrated to Twitch.
I think we all have had a Justin.tv account somewhere on the line and migrated their way over to something else.
I mean, I'm kind of showing. I guess I'm kind of showing my internet age.
You are. You're doxing yourself, sir. Stop it. No. But no, when it comes down to it, you have the space that's available. It's just whereabouts you want to go into. Do you want to go into an old market that you know? Or do you want to do something like what we're doing now, is going into several different markets to see which is going to be the best viable for us and go from there?
And just so you guys know, after looking into this, I went online and did a bit of research. Twitch...
Ooh.
Yeah, Twitch made $3.8 billion, right? And where YouTube apparently only made $1.6 billion. So actually,
Correct.
Twitch is much more successful and have a much better model than YouTube. But
let me talk. YouTube
I was going. No.
is the white whale in all of this. It's the conglomerate, but the only reason why it still exists is because Google is paying out the ass. Because it's basically in the red.
Can I interrupt for a few seconds, Ben?
Go ahead.
Nemo, are you looking at the Twitch stream?
Let me go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Please talk to your fan on the Twitch stream.
Okay. Sorry.
Back to you, Ben.
Okay. Nemo's got a fan. I had the Twitch thing open on my other computer, but okay.
Yeah, no, I've got it all happening because, like I said earlier, we're streaming on not only Twitch, YouTube, Pen's YouTube, but we're also in Mixer and in Periscope. Hi to everybody who's there.
Yeah, I've been starting to do that with my streams, is to restream to Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope, because I've got a few friends who like only follow me on Twitter, so I'm just like, hey, I want to share to as many people like as I can. So Periscope, being able to restream to Periscope where it posts on Twitter, that's actually a really good thing.
Keep in mind that now that, as Pen mentioned, that YouTube is a dying whale. Google doesn't care about it because of the fact that. What about Nightbot?
And that's what I was agreeing with. What I'm saying is, if YouTube aren't turning a profit,
how do I have a Nightbot? Son of a bloody... Okay, I'll be away for a few minutes.
You get my point, right? My point isn't YouTube's the only one out there. My point is, if they're not good at it, it's going to be a challenge for anyone else to be good at it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's incredibly challenging.
Right. So, So from my perspective, YouTube is like that really like mean, abusive boyfriend that you just can't leave for whatever reason, and like VidMe is just like that perfect man that just you reach out to that person, but it turns out that person's gay, so you can't. I don't know. Is that a good analogy?
Man who was willing to give you a lot of back rubs, but was not willing to go in because he is gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the whole YouTube being an abusive white trash wife beater.
I'm gonna have to turn off Nightbot. I don't know why even Nightbot's on.
So that's my whole 2 cents with my history with YouTube and why it saddens me that VidMe had to shut down.
The question I would have to ask is, what do you think they could have done to help them in the long run?
I would say if they would have established themselves either better or more, because if we're going to go back into video games a little bit, it's like with Nintendo and the Wii U. The marketing for the Wii U was absolute shit. I mean, the technology behind it was pretty good, like with the whole gamepad, which was like kind of the inspiration for the Switch, and they just didn't sell that.
Wait, did we move on to the
as
next
good
topic?
as.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I'm trying to segue into it.
Okay, so Mame.
Well, let's go to Mame.
I was going to say, am I going to have to Mame somebody?
Just say arcade. Speaking of arcades, Mame.
Yay, Mame! I've just shut up Nightbot. He's no longer allowed in the Twitch room. I don't know why it did that. I'm sorry for whatever Nightbot did.
Bliss on Twitch, we are sorry, man. Please don't leave us.
Yeah. Please type something.
We tried to get the bot under control.
And please type something so I know that everything is working.
My bot brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like.
We tried to keep the bot under the control, but it keeps demonetizing us.
Yeah. Anywho, so Mame, yeah, they just updated their cross-platform open source emulator, and now they're able to play off some new, or at least some awesome Japanese-based games, such as the Oriental Legend 2 and the Knights of Valor 2 New Legend. Because of that, makes it much more interesting for anybody who's in the E family. This might be able to open up a door for them to be able to play some games on their eMac. Huzzah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Better no slot clock support for the Apple E family.
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
But I don't think anybody here owns a Mac, so.
Nope.
No.
Well, yeah, because Apple is evil.
Yeah, Apple is evil.
You couldn't give me an own an Apple device.
You know what we need to do? I know who has an Apple. We got to get rhetorical on Mame.
Yeah, we gotta get him some Mame to do so. Yes. Gabe's on the Twitch stream. Hello, Gabe. I can see you.
Gabe.
You know, if it gets to the point to where Apple charges $1,000 for a phone, then you know they're doing something evil.
Oh yeah, $1,000 for a phone that's at least still 5 years behind the Android. Speaking of
technologically behind.
Of getting behind technology, yeah. Basically, at the end of the day, 4K is an old form of technology. Welcome to 10K, people, because HDMI has brought out something called HDMI 2.1, which now is compatible or will be compatible for the 10K video screens that are out.
Well, I'm so glad I don't have a 4K TV.
So if you guys signed up for 4K, that was a dumb idea because, well, it's useless. Throw it out the door. It's no longer going to be, valuable for you.
I am cringing so hard.
Well, you know what the sad part is? 4K is only good at 40-inch TV. I think the smallest you can actually find it.
Oh, no. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Yeah. But 10K cannot be read by the human eye, can it?
4K
not properly, no. 4K can't even be. Yeah, 4K is outside of the spectrum of the human eye. 4K.
So
Yeah.
what's the fucking point of 10K?
Drugs.
LSD.
Yeah, just because we can do it.
Like, sometimes you don't climb the mountain because it's their mountain here.
It's LSD, man. Take some LSD, look at the 10K TV, and then tell me about how many
No, I just want
dollars you see.
Sometimes I hate fucking technology and the dickheads are like, yeah, let's do 3D.
So I put the Tim and Eric mind blown gif
Yes.
up. Just like 10K.
It's just retard technology, it is. It really is. It's like having a freaking, I don't know, like a golden fork and spoon, you know?
Nemo,
Well,
you're having the reaction I had when 4K first came out, and everyone I knew was trying to get a 4K computer that could play 4K, and I'm sitting there going, but you can't actually see 4K.
I know, like, you can barely see 2K for fuck's sake.
I just want to...
Let's just be happy with
I
HD.
just want a monitor that will have like a 240 hertz refresh rate.
Come on, guys. I totally need that. And I also need 90 frames per second. Come on, guys.
Yeah, 90 frames.
I'm not a graphics whore.
If I don't have 90 frames a second and 10K, I feel motion sickness. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No. I had someone try and tell me.
You might feel motion sickness at 10K.
I had someone try and tell me that they had to watch everything in HD, because if it wasn't in HD or better, they would feel motion sickness. I'm like, no.
Right.
Why?
How do you get around the world? How do you get around your daily life?
Yeah.
Your eyeball doesn't even see it that ratio.
Getting to the next level of technology, biocomputing powered by jellyfish DNA plays Tetris and other retro video games.
Biocomputing?
Yeah, I decided to go.
You skipped one.
I decided to go with the both. No, I went over to the. Got rid of the dark side. Actually, no, I've moved it over one.
Banana.
Oh yes, I was going. I haven't forgotten about the banana. Banana's still
Anyways,
there.
real quick, Master Doctrine 7 in YouTube is like.
Yeah, okay.
45K will make you go literally illegally blind. He said illegally blind. The more you know.
Illegally blind. Yeah. I thought we'd do the jellyfish one since it's a part of the tech, kind of going to the creative form of tech to go into the banana one.
Oh yeah.
So basically, a company decided. What was it? Imperial Llamas has developed a biopic display that can play games such as Tetris, Snake, Pong using proteins that make the jellyfish glow. It doesn't affect the jellyfish whatsoever. The jellyfishes are not being harmed, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get your tidies in a bunch.
Oh my god, that's animal cruelty!
What they did was they found
jellyfish have to have a brain for it to be cruel.
True. What they did was they found what the makings of the glow of the jellyfish, and they put it into display to see what happens. That's all they did. And there's no GMO, there's no other bullshit. Everything is good. And yeah, so the bioluminescence can play the games, at least the classic games, of the games of yore, such as, the classic Tetris. Now, that is insane. What does that mean for technology down the road? Probably better displays. We won't have to worry about.
Oh, you mean like those 10K displays?
I know, like those 10K displays. My God, now we got bioluminescence doing all this work for us.
Oh God, I need to.
On the other side of technology, we're going to go right into Dark Souls. Somebody in the space of the gaming world has decided to hook up bananas to a board and make them as a controller to play Dark Souls. They've actually beaten Dark Souls 3 with it, with no summons.
That's insane.
Okay.
Damn.
I know that's insane. So if you're looking at on the Twitch stream, or if you're looking at Pen's YouTube, or wherever else you're looking at this, you will see this guy operating Dark Souls 3, while on the opposite screen pressing bananas, and it looks hilarious.
No. Can someone please explain how this works? How does touching a banana.
Nemo, you can touch my banana anytime.
No. I only touch my banana.
Okay, so Nemo, to answer your question a little bit, basically what they ended up doing was each individual banana is hooked into a point where it's responding to the individual controller features. So
okay.
basically,
So they pull apart a controller and use the bananas as sensory things somehow.
Yes.
Well, you know how like you can turn a potato into a clock? All it's doing is...
well, not really. You can turn it into a battery. I've seen that.
Yeah. That's basically the idea. You're taking the electrical charge, you're taking that impulse, and you're putting it towards the object in question. Yeah. So basically,
what I don't get is why the character's reacting.
Because you're when you touch it, you change the you affect the pulse. Therefore, sending a signal.
So basically, what you're doing is you're sending a signal through the banana to the controller via the board. So what happens if you're looking at it in the Twitch stream, you can see in the upper right the controller that's the lowest, the bottom portion of the upper right scheme. It's got lights that are showing up, so it's indicators that are showing you that that's where the impulse is. So now for the up and right direction, those two buttons are being hit in an impulse. So now the controller, which is already a breadboard on its own on the basis of impulses, because that's what we're doing with the buttons, it's signaling that it's got to move the sprite to the up left or up right or whatever it is. All right, that's basically the core of it. They're taking a simplified version of it, but they're showing you another way of doing it that you don't need the controller itself. You just need to be able to create the impulses to make the sprites move.
Yeah, basically they're using the bananas as a potato, but since the banana is soft,
because this does seem a little bit different than the potato technology. It just does.
It seems banana technology
a little bit different.
Is a lot better than potato technology. Bananas will rule the world.
Hey,
wow.
Buy a penny for every time I said that.
Banana.
Well, I mean, the thing is it's because of the chemical reaction that's causing the electrical response.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by similar.
You are not gonna go down that road. Speaking of going down that road, Epic's Games is suing more Fortnite cheaters. At least one of them is a minor.
No, Epic Games, grow the fuck up. Like seriously.
Well,
seriously, you guys are already disgusting, heathenistic human beings that deserve to be shot from a cannon into the sun. Like,
no,
and you guys are going to be the ones that sue someone.
Well, wait, Nemo, before you go off on a real good tangent. Rogue, explain to us why they're being sued. Why are they suing these?
Thank you. It's either me or Pen that could do it. But anyways, in October, Polygon learned from Epic Games it has filed a lawsuit against two individuals for making and using a software that allows players to cheat in-game. Okay. Not only did they do that, but they also are responsible for creating a website that is a paid subscription-based cheating service. Think about that. Okay, so that's right there. That's kind of mind-blowing that these people not only found a way to cheat.
Wait,
go ahead.
Cheat what?
It's not the fact that it's not the fact that they're cheating. It's the fact that they're being paid to help people cheat.
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. I don't have a problem with this because Epic Games or whatever it is base their entire market on microtransactions, right? And they also do play to win. They also fuck around with all that other shit. So if someone's screwed with their hardware and they're like, okay, technically they're taking money from them, but only from a very small minority and only from people smart enough to know how to do this. It's like...
Shit, I have never heard of World of Warcraft suing anybody for selling farm gold.
No, and they're
I
a
know.
much bigger company, and they actually lose a lot more money from
and
doing
I'm sitting
that.
here thinking, okay, if this cheating is such a problem, just ban the account and move on.
Yeah,
Epic
or better yet, make it hack-proof. It's not, it's not impossible. It's harder to make it
it's not
hack-proof.
impossible,
But how about
but
you ban those programs? It's not easy to detect them. There's a million and one things you can do. How about you contact the people who are cheating, and as you said, ban them and first let them know, or best of all, maybe you shame them, shame the cheaters. Go, hey, people are being cheaters. Point and laugh.
Well, that's what in a sense you could say that this lawsuit is a way to try to shame them, but.
So Epic's line of reasoning was under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, both of these individuals were in the wrong to create cheats that leverage Epic's own intellectual property. And court records indicate that both lawsuits are still in the proceeding in the court district and could result to fines up to $150,000 per incident per case. So at the end of it, if Epic wins, they're going to be winning a lot of money.
No, but they're not, because you can't just sue a random person who doesn't have that money, much money.
Let alone sue
a
minor.
Well, here's the messed up part of how lawsuit is. You can sue them for the allotted amount. If they don't have the money, then at which point the companies will, for the most part, the courts will put you on a payment system, paying this off in a course of time.
In
but that's still not
the
point, and from a minor, no less.
Yeah, because one of them is a 14-year-old.
No, what they'll do with a minor is they'll go to his mom and dad.
But that's just the problem.
Okay,
No,
that's
more problem.
A few things I want to interrupt. When it comes to the law, if you have someone that can take a suit an exorbitant amount, well, never be able to pay it, right? Usually the judge rejects this, and he recommends an amount that's fair to pay.
Yep.
And I don't know what that would be for a minor. I'm surprised if the case will go through. Usually if it's a minor, they'll just throw it out. They don't always just throw it to the parents. Usually they just throw it out in general, go, yeah, this is a child. See ya. What damages were done, and they can't show how much was lost, right? Then they're fucked. Because you've got to show damages. If you can't show damages, you can just show projected damages. That means nothing.
Yeah.
Not in the world of law. You got to show actual damages, and maybe they'll pay that at worst. Sorry.
No. You're right when it comes all down to it, because when it comes down to a minor, trying to prove that, one, they're an adult, and on top of that they knew exactly what they were doing, on top of that they can afford to pay off the fine, which we all know that they can't, it makes a big problem. So yeah, most of the time that something like this, courts usually laugh at it and throw it completely out. Now, Epic is probably doing it on the pretense that they're trying to punish these individuals and anybody who's going to be like them to never do it again. Will it work in their favor? I doubt it. It's going to be possibly an epic fail, but who knows?
It's all about how they play the...
Well, see, this whole lawsuit basically started because the kid, the minor, has a YouTube channel. So he was publishing how to the ways that he was cheating and how other people could capitalize on these cheats as well. So in a response, Epic Games basically issued a takedown notice because they don't want anybody using those cheats, and they're saying, this is our intellectual property. And he fought back. He contested it, which means that Epic basically went the next step and said, okay, fine, we'll see you in court. And that's how this whole thing came up.
Yep. The thing is, at the same time, is if there's a term of service for the game, you really need to read those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, they're 60 pages long.
Oh, I know. They are, but you really should want... like at the very least read some of them, because sometimes they put shit like that in the service.
Well, here's what you read if you're smart. You read the password with, like, I guess what rights they have over you. Skip over like I guess what copyright laws they have, what laws they have over what information they can take with your phone, that type of thing.
Yeah, they like Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix has a feature where they can, if you have questions about streaming and whatnot, you can actually skip the whole shebang just to find out how much of it is going to be what they require you if you're going to stream or do videos. They show you that part of the term of service and wording. Now, the fact that he was making hacks and stuff for the game, that's probably where he should probably look into that. That's probably what they're going to try and nail him.
Well,
a quote from Epic. Epic is not okay with ongoing cheating or copyright infringement from anyone at any age. As stated previously, we take cheating seriously, and we will pursue all available options to make sure our games are fun, fair, and competitive for the players.
That's the problem right there, making it competitive.
Yeah.
So, not knowing... Okay, I haven't played Fortnite, and I don't think I'll ever will. But not knowing their terms of service or what is complicit to you playing this game, regardless whether it's microtransactions or not, I'm at a loss. This is all kind of a new ground for me. But for the Battle Royale that is supposed to be Fortnite, I don't know. For any game, there's going to be an exploit for it. So, if this person has figured out an exploit, then sucks to be Epic.
Which I said, and I understand what even I can understand the argument being now, if he's cheating and he's publishing these cheats so that other people can cheat, it's one thing where they can just simply ban him from the game. But now that information about how to cheat is out there, so it's like, okay, well, take what you learn, close those loopholes, and ban anybody who's trying to exploit the system.
Yeah.
Not saying that they can't pursue legal remedies for their, quote, intellectual property, but the problem is now you find yourself in a situation like this, where you're in hot water because you issued a suit against a minor, which also prompted the kid's mother to write a letter to Epic saying this company is in the process of attempting to sue a 14-year-old child. They are claiming he prepared derivative works based upon copyrighted work and publicly performed and displayed this as such. They are also claiming he, quote, modified their game to use a cheat and live streamed it. This would, of course, fall under the Copyright Act if he did, in fact, modify their game, which there's only certain things that you can do to modify. You could either modify the local files on your computer, such as changing skins or some form of code, which, yes, it can happen, but when you're playing in a multiplayer space, your cheats don't affect other players. They only affect your player and what is also locally on your computer.
So... If they're going to say he modified the game, then isn't it no more than modding the game? So if he's under the basic pretense as a modder, are you going to say that every modder that modifies any game that we ever play is a cheater as well, or a person who is on against the copyright?
I'm back.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. So, Dragos, you were going to say before I interrupted you?
Well, I mean, if he's doing it to an online game, an online match, that's where I have issues with modders. Is I have no care or dams to be given to anyone who wants to cheat in a single player mode. It's my dam comes in when they're like, oh, let's cheat while we're in, playing online matches and stuff. You're playing against other people. It's supposed to be about your skill and how you use the program, but not how you break the program to become Captain Badass.
I get that, and I don't disagree with that. You know, but I also love it when these people stick it to, like, people like Epic Games, who make games purely for microtransactions. Well, like, that's all the games are made out of with
The mom goes on to say, Epic Games failed to legally bind underage users with their end users license agreement, which is a contract between the licensor and purchaser establishing that the purchaser's right to use the software. This being said, the game itself was in fact free. No purchase of the game occurred.
Yeah, that's kind of their...
There's a lot of messes that Epic has put themselves in. Yeah, they made people epically angry with them. They've gotten themselves into an epic disaster, and they put themselves into an epic problem. Like it or not, this suit can be good for them or bad for them, and we won't know until we get down to the end of this. Now, if they win the suit, then that means that it could be a bad, sorry day for any mod producer, whether it be for a single-playing action game or a multiplayer game. Sorry, but modders are going to do modding of the games in both worlds, like it or not. Is it considered cheating? It's up to the individual. All they've done is they've used their skill set, found the rules of the game, and looked at the exploits that are available inside the game.
Yes.
Is that the modder's problem or the person playing the game? No. Whose problem is originally is the person who's created the rules for this game. I mean, Pen and I have already had this argument before with her little game that she did with Minecraft, and that took her rules. I looked at it. There was a couple of exploits. I used it.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna say this before. Actually, jeez, what was I gonna say? Fuck.
Besides that, what else were you gonna say?
No. I've got a mind blank about the way like this should be handled, the way it should be sorted, but I totally mind blank. So move on.
Well, again, in order for it to be handled properly, what they should have done was just simply ban the accounts. It would have been a lot easier. Just ban the accounts. This
solves all
you
your
do not. Right there. We ban this account. If you use this, we're banning your account. Period. End of line. No question. That would have solved the problem. No. What did they do? Decide to play big boys and put on their big boy pants and decide, I'm going to take it to court and waste people's time.
Which means, which means it's funny. If they had an issue with his video, they should have known that this was a 14-year-old kid. Not like this is any surprise after the fact. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, but I will give it to this much about this kid. He should probably, if he's this smart, should make a hack thing and all that other stuff. He could probably be using those skills to something a lot better than playing a shitty Epic Games game.
He could make his own game and then make a whole bunch of money off
of it.
Oh,
no, not even that. But there's a million things he could do that's better, would actually, be more fun and more interesting than...
I'm not gonna knock...
hacking...
No, I'm not gonna hack... I'm not gonna knock hackers and modders.
No.
Neither am I. That's what I'm saying. There's more to it than that, That's why I said not make his own game, but make his own mod for Skyrim where he can get paid for it, instead of...
Well, he could get paid for it. That's where it comes down to, because we all know Bethesda is trying to microtransaction in their games, even though they really don't make a really good game. They make a good foundation of a game, but they really...
Nemo's talking about when he says for modders to get paid, because what you do when modders can get popular if they make a good mod, and they basically make a Patreon based on the fact of I make mods, support me so I can have easier time updating them.
The guy who made Moonwater Elsewhere, right, which was a Skyrim mod, and it was the entire Elsewhere,
the entire world. Yeah.
That guy sent that in as a resume to Bethesda. They chose not to hire him, but now he makes about $4,000 a month just making mods because everyone loves him.
Of course. I mean, we've already pointed out on the 64 Mario mod. We can go through all the mods that are available. I don't have a problem with that. I love modders. Modders should be, recognized as one of the biggest backbone of the industry. For some of the games that I play, I have to have it modified. Otherwise, the vanilla game, I refuse to play it. I have a hard time kind of going to Skyrim and kind of going, the water could look better, or this character looks kind of weird, or I nitpick and I kind of go, okay, I need something that's adjust. And I've got a lot of modders who are in my list of YouTubers that I watch, and I kind of go, yeah, these guys knew what they were doing when they modified this game. But at the end of the day, Epic is trying to force a kid down a different road for what?
To show some muscle, to get other people to not... They're trying to use the smallest one to set as the example.
Yep. Knowing that...
So basically, they're becoming...
They're bullies.
Yeah, well, and they're becoming more of the bully.
Stop being bully, Epic.
Yeah.
It's a disaster waiting to happen. I wish it would lead up to the movie, but...
Speaking of disasters?
We're going to go... No. We're going to go to the Ink-Stained Games, a roguelite RPG.
Okay.
Kickstarter is coming out with something called Stone Shard. Well, the people behind Ink Games are doing a Kickstarter for that. What is it, people? Well, let's see. It is, obviously a roguelike-based game, RPG strategy. You play as a small character, and you pretty much kill lots of stuff.
Oh no, say it ain't so.
I know, lots of stuff, but from what I can see, it looks like a very interesting game.
It looks very simple. It's something, I can see Nemo playing this. It looks very similar to, the Link to the Past that he's playing. Oh, Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger, of course, so it's somewhat top-down.
I would totally play this game.
Actually, it's probably something... I can see something that a certain young dragon would probably be playing this game.
Yeah, I mean, being the fact that I'm like a massive fan of Secret of Mana, Legend of Zelda, and...
Well, so am I, bitch!
Oh, girls,
well,
you're both very pretty.
Zelda, and I'm enjoying watching you just, like, run around.
So, if anybody's watching, okay, girls, hang on. Keep your panties in a bunch. Don't get your panties in a bunch now. Settle down. If anybody's watching the YouTube space or the Twitch, you can actually see what's going on for the Stone Shards. I've got the little trailer going, so you get a better idea.
Yeah.
I'm actually at the Steam community. So
I will say this: I'm much better at Chrono Trigger than I am at Legend of Zelda. Chrono Trigger, I'm a Viking.
Ooh, it's the Scourge.
You're actually, it has a very look to what is it, an 8-bit version of Diablo.
Kinda. I'd say 16-bit.
From what I can tell, it looks like it's kind of close to those actual styles of the old like Super Nintendo
Coming
games.
in 2018 to
Steam.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have an actual date, but it looks like a game I want to play.
Yeah, it'll be added
games.
to the list of let's play.
Fight, lead, die.
If it has an online feature for all of that, I can see it being all of us just trying not to murder each other as we go through.
Yeah, I probably would have to murder one of you. Eat your flesh if I
you.
I won't mind.
See, there you go. No, but it does have some of the features as I'm looking at it. For the items in that, it does have the space that you would for Diablo.
Yeah.
So I'm like going, interesting. So probably more of a D&D-esque style game from what I can see. I'm quite curious and looking forward to see exactly how far they push it. If it's successful, even better. I wish them the best of luck.
I wish you would told me that you went to the Steam page to look it up. I would be showing...
I went to the Steam page.
Yeah, thanks, Rogue. They could...
Yeah, no problem, Pan, no problem. Communications is what we do best.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's kind of, has anyone here played Hero Siege while we're on it?
No, I haven't yet.
No, that's a very, very Diablo-like, 16-bit game. That's pretty good. I recommend everyone play that. It's not even that expensive. I think it's like $10. It's definitely worth it, and it's always on special, like especially summer sales. So or winter for you, Muppets.
Muppets, yes, winter. I'm looking at it. It is a roguelike RPG indie action hack and slash.
Yes.
That looks pretty interesting.
And if that's not Diablo 2, I don't know what is.
That is very close to Diablo 2. I would give it to you.
Yeah.
Or even I want to say World of Warcraft, because the way they have the battle thingy on the bottom.
Reminds me of Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Right.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Now that's a good game. That's a really good game.
Yeah. It's got the art style of Zombie Ate My Neighbors, that's for sure.
That's a homage to a whole lot of old ones too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Sorry,
apparently it's also got
I'm going to interrupt and give that game a shout out because it deserves it.
No, again, all games. Look, we're mostly a gaming channel. We'll be talking about game news and whatever hot button topics that we can come up with.
Yeah.
So yes, that was gaming related. Huzzah!
Yes.
Anyway,
where were we? We were talking
artist?
about.
Yes, we're gonna go to a disaster that is the artist.
Oh.
This is beautiful.
Do you guys remember The Room?
Kind
I've watched The Room 3 times.
Not really. I haven't actually seen it.
Well, this is The Room.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it.
It was a disaster. Oh, you haven't seen it? We have to sit down and watch The Room one day.
Yeah, we need to do like a what's that thing called where that move like where everyone's
Rabbit?
movies and comment on it while I was
Simulcast?
playing?
Yeah.
No, that's how you do it. Something 2000.
2000, A Space Odyssey. No, I know what you're talking about. Space Science 2000.
Yeah, it was Mystery Science Theater 2000. Thank you.
Yeah.
We should totally do that.
Yeah, we could do that. Yes. So this is based. This is kind of like how it was made. Yes. Yes, it was all about how the behind scenes of the creation of the nightmare that is The Room. With
legendary director
I'm
Tommy
sorry, say
Wiseau.
that again. I don't think the people on both Twitch and YouTube could hear you.
The Room.
That is what?
The Room.
What is The Room?
The Room is a movie written and directed and produced by Tommy Wiseau, who's a legendary director. He's very, very skilled. Brilliant acting skills, and he basically
Great, yeah.
And you can watch this trailer to find out exactly what the movie's about, and find out for yourselves. You know, it's really hard to find into words what the movie's about, because it's about like 8 things at once.
Oh God, it's everything at once. Oh God. So James Franco and Seth Rogen are the creators of the disaster artist that is kind of like a biography of how they got to where they were. Oh God.
It's a mockumentary. That's exactly what it is. It's
got to be more than a mockumentary.
Making fun of Tommy Wiseau and how it happened, because it is kind of it's a bit of a mystery. Because like the guy, Tommy Wiseau himself, is some sort of millionaire. No one knows how he became a millionaire, and he just really wanted to be in Hollywood, and he was desperate for it. And he paid like an insane amount of money to do it, and it just went nowhere. It's kind of famous that it happened that way, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pretty incredible story.
But I remember that scene where he's supposed to come out off of the rooftop, and then he's like, I didn't hit her, and he ends up trailing off into high mark. They had to do that 46 times. Or was it 64 times? It was a lot of takes for that one.
It was 46 times, because every single time he kept on saying, I hit her.
Yes.
I didn't hit her.
And they were like,
and then eventually they're like, guys, that's a better line. Why don't we just keep it that way? He's like, no, it's the other way. And then he'll look into the camera.
Yeah. Actually, the weirdest thing is that when he gets the final take done right, he comes out with a water bottle. All the other takes, he doesn't have this water bottle, but he comes up to the rooftop, goes through the doors. He's got this water bottle in his hand. He finally says the line right and throws the water bottle down, and they're like, "We're keeping it." No one ever questions. No one ever questions. Hey, where does this water bottle come from? But hey, it's there.
Thrown at the camera and bouncing off.
Yeah.
Like you hear the thud of it hitting the camera and coming back.
Yes, and
also,
you
know what? This is the best we're gonna get.
I know. Also, you have to come back down to the other factor. There's a massive drinking game for this one.
Yes.
One of them is the scenes of San Francisco.
Yeah.
The stock footage. It's always the stock footage. It's hilarious. Or how many times they threw a football.
Take a drink every time it goes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think. See, anyone else who hasn't seen this movie doesn't get these jokes, and that's why we need to watch it together.
Oh yeah, I know. You have to watch this particular movie. I'm sorry, I think we should do this on a GNF weird stream.
So
just
so what you're talking about is something later this week of our doing the mystery theater.
Yeah, we're gonna do a mystery theater GNS style of the best of the movie that is The Room, just so everybody can enjoy the glory that is The Room before it hits theaters. I can't.
God.
I remember doing this with a buddy, with a couple of friends, and that we did worst movie night, because we usually do the movie nights, and we're going to do the worst movie nights, and one of them was the Star Wars Christmas special, the holiday special that they came out with.
The really bad one.
Oh yeah, that one. That's an epic. Oh, that's an epic disaster from beginning to end. And then the other one was what we're seeing now, which is The Room. That itself was just like, we tried doing the drinking game, but we ended up busting out laughing, and we couldn't get any further. It was like, this is more of a comedy than whatever it was supposed to be. It starts off with okay, you're introduced to the characters in that, Tommy being whatever he is, I can't remember. The kid, the next door neighbor kid that is supposed to be, he's a creepy kid. There's a lot to it that you have to see it. You just have to see it in order to get all these stupid references.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, once again, this isn't an option. You've got to watch it.
Yeah, there's no options whatsoever. You have to watch it.
Is that the end of our docket, or did we have one more?
Anyways, no, at the end of it, we're going to do another big-ass one. Okay, since we've already gone past the disaster movie that is the disaster movie, let's go to the movie that has been doing fairly well in the box office. We call it Coco. Or at least Pixar.
You took away my link. I don't have the link anymore.
No, I didn't take away your link. Your link is there.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Coco, when I saw that, I felt like it was a ripoff of the Dream Works. I believe DreamWorks did it. The version of...
I'm looking at it now. Coco is... Book of Life. Yeah, no.
Yeah, see, you removed it.
Okay, the question... No, I didn't remove it. The question, I left it because you can type in Coco, because we're not doing... The question was, why isn't Coco racist, or is it just a white thing? I was going to lead into that.
Are you talking about the Pixar's Coco feasts on Justice League at box office, or was this a...
No, they're good. We've already done that the last show. I'm asking the question, since Coco is a thing, all the characters are Hispanic.
Yeah, because it takes place in Mexico.
Okay. Now, in Mexico. Now, there are white Mexicans. We know that for a fact. why isn't there an uproar about this particular movie? But if you do something that's focused on a lot of white folks, there's a big uproar that there's not enough, representation in movies.
Well, because it's the same thing like what happened with Moana. It's focusing primarily on another culture, therefore it's not really racist. It's yeah.
Yeah. So the issue is more so that it is quote unquote falling off of a stereotype, and it's bad because reasons. But in reality, the stereotype, because the issue they had with it was how they did the Hawaiian, basically the island god was their big issue.
Maui
was their issue because they were like, he's portrayed as the fat, islander type, and it's like, it's not so much that they're portraying him as that, is that's actually the religion behind him. Is he is
a fat islander type.
Yes.
It's not exactly, you can't portray something if that's exactly what they are. It's a bit, it's a bit.
I have to ask the question. We all know that the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is the guy kind of behind the production of Moana.
Yeah.
He's Hawaiian. Well, Samoan for the most part, but this would be the same issue. How? He's a big guy. He's basically Maui kind of looks like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, just broader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. He looks like any islander that I've always seen.
I believe with this was the fact that people are getting extremely butthurt at the idea of anyone making a movie about another culture.
Yeah,
that's the bigger issue, is everyone's getting butthurt at the idea of someone making a movie about another culture.
Yeah, well, I have to stress this again. Disney, Pixar, mostly Jewish individuals, making a show focusing around Mexicans with a lot of animators who are most likely going to be, I don't know, Asian.
Right.
How is this not a problem? Yet, when you take it to the other spectrum and you kind of go Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Moana, everybody's up in arms, Frozen, oh, she's got to be lesbian. But Coco, it's a safe ground. So I just don't understand the SJW's reasoning when they're picking their battles. Either have something constant or don't even talk.
I'm just thinking about it now. It's like the protagonist of this is a young male. Okay? So I'm surprised that they didn't start saying, oh, Coco is sexist because why are we not focusing on female minorities?
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised they didn't talk about trans. Why does he have to be male or female?
Well, the big issue is a lot of times that they're trying to not, because I believe the actual story that they're actually using is on a male figure in this role, is the story, like the actual urban story that they're using. So they're trying to avoid going after that, knowing that they're going to destroy their narrative by going, you're mimicking this culture, and then they're going, we need it to be a female role, and if they found out someone did research, goes, the story is this. You're the ones changing a cultural story.
Yeah, but that's just it. Is when did change? When did change stop us from wanting to? It's a fictional world. We don't have to adhere to customs and anything like that because it's all part of the narrative.
Yeah.
Remember, like when they tried to get on CD Projekt Red because most of the characters in The Witcher are basically white, because the area the developers live in a predominantly white area, and there aren't a lot of... But you can put dragons in it! Why can't you put... Okay, so you want to equate minorities with fictional characters. What... Do you understand the logic you are trying to make?
No, they don't.
Well, how about this one? We go to The Witcher, a very classic game. It's all white, but they want black characters. Well, I'm sorry, but Nordics didn't have a lot of black people there. I'm just at a loss with their mindset of where they want to go. Either A, they love these movies, or B, they hate them, and they're just, I don't know, they annoy me. They annoy the hell out of me, because they have no logic, no sense of reason. Because a movie like this, I'd be seeing, a lot of uproar at least, but I don't. I see nothing. But I'll wait for like the Star Wars movie, which is supposed to be another big popular movie that'll be coming out, and there'll be a big agenda how Rey is the best, Star Wars character ever.
She's not.
Oh, we know that, but you know how the narrative is going to go. We all know how the narrative is going to go. It's all disappointing.
Anyway.
That's it, Nemo. There's no other anyway.
Oh, I know, but I felt like... I don't know. I felt like that was needed.
Is it? Are you sure?
Maybe.
I don't know anymore. So that's pretty basically
now it is.
That is pretty basically to the end of this show. Do we have anything else you want to cover, talk about before we go home?
Sorry we went so far over our time, guys.
Yeah, it's alright.
No, I'm just talking to not to you. To them.
No. We usually have things to do, people to see, We have other talking points, like somebody plays games, I don't know. Like Nemo.
What do you do? Where can people find you?
Well, people can find me at Nemo Space. They can find me on Twitter, but I don't really use that. So just go on YouTube, search Nemo Space, add in Legend of Zelda, and you'll probably come up with my things. And subscribe to me, watch my videos. I do streams lots, and I'm gonna start doing videos where I actually do the editing and all that other crap that includes work. But for now, I'm just doing live streams.
You work?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Oh,
I'm just a cripple in a suit.
You're a cripple in the suit, eh? All right. What about?
What do you do, bro?
Oh, me? I told you, I'm the spectral host with the most. I do a lot of different things, as well as entertain everybody else. You can catch me at the Canadian Rogue. You can type that in, or you can type in Robert Cumans. I wish you the best of luck of typing that name in. Or you can catch me on the GNF. We're called gator-n-frog.com, where all the links are available there. Right now, I'm kind of contemplating on what to do next with my channel, because I'm not too sure exactly which way I want to take it. But I still have a few things I want to complete before finalizing whatever idea I've come up with. There's a few games that I know no one's really put a lot of love and attention towards, so I'm thinking on doing that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sit back, relax, do whatever it is GNF. So we're going to pass that off to... Ooh, I don't... All right, we'll pass it off to a dragon. What are you doing that is exciting?
No, I'm trying to get my computer back up and running so I can continue doing... the review of Sonic Forces I'm trying to work on. Actually continue streaming off of my computer. I was thinking the next game I was going to do was probably Human Fall Flat.
Oh, yes. I think I sent that to you, or you got that through a Humble Bundle?
I think so, yeah. I was also contemplating on doing Gen Forge, 1 through 5 that I actually play through for the first time as well.
Okay.
But, you know, for the most part, I'm on, now that VidMe is gone, I am mostly going to be on my YouTube and my Twitter and my Twitch account.
Well, you know, I'm going to be roaming around on Twitch for the most part.
I'm going to try to help continue supporting BitChute.
BitChute, yeah. I wish them the best of luck, but I don't know. As I said, they're a torrent site for the most part, so until they get into a streaming service, or at least providing the help with streaming, they're great for storing your video. But as for anything else, I don't see, unless they put in a player that goes with it, even better. Because they're, what is it? uTorrent has a player that comes with their torrent thingy. I know because I have uTorrent. Not saying I do things illegally. I just don't like paying for a lot of things. Anyways, Pen, what do you do?
Oh, you can find me on YouTube, on Twitch, on Minds, on Gab, all at PeninaChan.
Can we find you at VidMe?
Well, no, you won't be able to, at least after December 15th. But I do have a BitChute, as I said, that I will try to be, that I will try to make something of. And in the meantime, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, we're all confused and strange. There's nothing else for us. I guess we get to go home. Everybody be good, happy, and Gabe, you be careful because I'm watching you. On that note, I bid you all adieu.
To you and you and you.
And you.
Yes.
Really? We're doing that again?
Apparently she's doing that again.
Yeah.
Of course. Alright, I'm going to music. I'm done.
Gospodania.